So welcome to another edition of Unscripted, where I, Anton Smit, Editor-in-Chief of Soundtrackwereld.com and the Dutch brother Soundtrackwereld.nl, will be talking about my passion for soundtracks. And this edition we will again cover some news. I have 2 items for you and the reviews that I've done, only 3 this time because I was on a small holiday in this COVID time. So let's head straight into the news. The nominations for the Emmy Awards were a while back, which I mentioned in a previous Unscripted, and the winners are now announced. And on their website, if you look very hard, you can find these winners. I found a couple of them. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross has won for the music for The Watchmen. And the main title, Nathan Barr has won that one for his theme for Hollywood. And my favorite is The Mandalorian with Ludwig Göransson, who has won the Emmy for the music for The Mandalorian. And as you can see if you're watching the video, it's very hard to find it, but here it is. And I'm quite happy that he has won that one because I really love the music he has written for The Mandalorian. Talking about nominations, the nominations are now announced of the WSAwards, and you can find all these nominees on their website. And with this list I know quite more than I do with the Emmys. For Composer of the Year, familiar names are there like Despla, Hilde Gudnadottir, Thomas Newman, John Williams, of course Benjamin Wolfish. And the TV composers are also very well known names. Lorne Balfe is on this one with his Dark Materials, an amazing score that I love very much. I'm missing Mandalorian here, but that's a personal favorite if you know me. And one that I really love is that on the public choice you can see Joep Spark, which is a fellow Dutchman, which I have interviewed about Kruimeltje. And I have also reviewed that score, an amazing music, and I'm just happy to see that he gets this exposure because I'm hoping we will hear way more from him in the near future. Just check this out, and of course do not forget there is a concert on Saturday 24th where you can register for because it's an online concert. So if you want a free concert on Saturday with amazing film music, you know where to go. So that was the news. Both of them were related to awards. And let's look into my reviews that I've written. As usual, I glance over them very briefly. If you want to read more about them in more detail, my thoughts about them, you can find them on soundtrackwereld.com or soundtrackwereld.nl for the Dutch version. I will provide the links to each of them in the description. So let's get into the reviews. So if you like Star Wars, maybe have a look at my first review, which is Jedi Fallen Order, which is a Star Wars game. The game came out in November 2019 already, but the soundtrack took a long while to get on digital platforms so that we can listen to it. You get a lot of music, you get 3 hours of music. The music is written by Stephen Barton and Gordy Haab. And they have written some kind of homage to the Star Wars music that we all know. It has a beautiful main theme, and the rest of the score is also just a pleasure to listen to. Critics also really like the score. It has won some prizes, which was extremely weird to me because since the music was not out, I could not listen to it, only see like people play the game on YouTube. I'm happy that it's out and I was able to review it, because if you are just fan of Star Wars music, just give this one a listen and see if you like it or not. For my next review, it is about a soundtrack written by one of my favorite composers from the last 10 years, and that is Daniel Pemberton. He has written the music for a Netflix documentary, Rising Phoenix, which is about athletes performing in the Para-Olympics. And those are sportsmen and women who have sadly a disability, but they are very much able to do amazing, extraordinary things that I could never do. What's so amazing about this score is that Pemberton applied that to the music as well, because all the musicians you hear on this score that is not with music that is not done by Pemberton himself are all done by musicians with some kind of disability, and that just creates an amazing score. With one of the highlights is the main theme, which is a very bombastic, heroic piece, which make these athletes superheroes. And in my book, they totally are. So most of the time, when I'm liking the score, I say listen to it. But for this one, I should say, if you have Netflix, watch the series first. And maybe afterwards, listen to the score on its own. The last review is of the highly anticipated soundtrack from Ludwig Göransson, what he has written for the movie TENET by Christopher Nolan. While I have watched most movies in the comfort of my living room, I had to go to the cinema for this one. And the music is very much like what Hans Zimmer would have written. What I've heard from stories that Nolan is quite fan of that sound. I do not want to go that much into details of the movie because a lot of people are not able to see it. But Ludwig Göransson has used some ideas used in the movie, in the plots of the movie, and he has translated it to the music, but I'm not sure if it really can be heard that well. There's a lot of action in the movie, so a lot of the music is just put a bit in the background, so you cannot really listen to it and not really hear the context of the music, what's happening in the music to the images on the screen. I think if you're a fan of Hans Zimmer scores, you will probably like this one as well. I really would like to know what really is happening with the music on level of the notes, because there is probably happening a lot with crazy ideas. I would not be surprised that music analysts will find all these crazy things, and I cannot wait to read about those in the near future. But for the time being, I prefer listening to The Mandalorian or Black Panther, which are both amazing scores by Göransson. So now we are at the point where I will be talking about concerts and upcoming festivals about film music, but at the moment I don't have anything new for you, so I'm sorry, probably because of the pandemic. I mentioned a couple of them in past unscripted, so you can look for them. And you can also find what I have discussed on the website under concerts. So if you go to soundtrackwereld.com or soundtrackwereld.nl, you have in the menu bar a concert item. If you click it, you will see some concerts and festivals that will hopefully be attending in the near future. Let me just say thank you for listening again. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content, please subscribe to it on YouTube or follow it on SoundCloud. And it would also appreciate it if you follow me on social media. You can find the links all in the description and at the end slide of this video. So hopefully I will see you again next month. Have a good one.